Hello to everybody. This is Brett with Anvil Music and Media on this Friday. Man, it's Friday. We're excited. Weekend is here. That's not the only reason that for the excitement, but of course, we are a community. As I come on here twice a week, we're live. We're live today, and I appreciate everybody who's decided to join as you're coming in. Appreciate all of the support. Even those that are watching this on the replay, thank you. Thank you guys so very much. Man, I have my shoes on and I'm like, I want to get comfortable. I feel like these shoes are I'm in the house, so I don't need shoes on. But as you can see, being live, anything goes. If you hear me cough, sneeze, this is me. This is the real me. So let me know as you're coming into the chat. Let me know where you're watching this live video from, and we're going to get right into it. A couple of days ago, we had a live on Tuesday. We had a great discussion. It's talking about a lot of different things. So I've had my family from India. Shout out to them. They like showed up in the comments, man. We were talking everything from music to production to live things. So like, man, let's see. We've got people already starting to join in. Let me get with the comments. Before I get to the comments, I just want to say my name is Brett with Anvil Music and Media. If you haven't met me for the first time, nice to meet you virtually. Of course, this is YouTube, and if you aren't familiar with this channel, I pretty much all of my videos are tech based. For the beginner tech, those who are just looking into Apple products, I've got some Windows stuff up there. Coincidentally, my Windows stuff is probably the most what you would call viral, but I've got a couple of HP computers reviews that I've done the 2 or 3 years ago. So let's see where we are. Rishab Chandra says Vinoid. Okay, that's a place where you're from? Well, welcome. Thank you so much. Please like this video, guys, and subscribe to the channel if you get a chance. If you like what you are hearing. Colton says West Virginia, right up the street. Colton, thank you so much for joining. We love it out in West Virginia. Let's see. Yes, I just checked the chat. So I appreciate you guys all for joining, and thank you guys who are like joining for the first time. This is a community. We talk tech, we talk music, we talk a little bit of, even exercise. Right? Last a couple of days ago, we were talking about exercising. So as you can see, I am currently in my studio. This is my studio. Give you a little bit of a panoramic view, if I could. It's not so much because the video is in vertical. But yeah, we're here to talk news. We're here to talk pretty much wherever you whatever you'd like to talk from. Yes, Colton from Virginia. So next door neighbors. We're Virginia, West Virginia. So I appreciate you for joining. But yeah, we're here to talk news. If you have any comments you'd like to discuss, feel free to drop it in the comments. Of course, let's be respectful of everybody who's here. This is a community, and I'm glad to be a part of it. You can just maybe call me the moderator, but you guys bring the content. You let me know what you would like to talk about. So a couple different topics I maybe want to get into. I didn't really get into last on this past Tuesday. Number one, we have Meta and the metaverse. Meta has recently they've come out with a new AI assistant that is powered by Llama 4. Llama 4 happens to be it's a AI technology generator, and mainly it's used for enterprise for research. So Llama 4. If you look it up, they've teamed up with Meta, and they have a new AI assistant out, and that's a bit of news. We kind of, if you have Meta or Instagram, you kind of see it already. It's already there on your display on the dialog box, your search dialog box. It's sort of there, which I'm not too fond of that. Like I feel like now we're just in an age where everybody's pushing their AI on us, right? Like I don't, if I want to use AI, I'll go to the app that of my choice and use it. But obviously, obviously Meta wants to have a piece of the pie, piece of this technology rush to uh, um, to begin to craft, the next greatest AI engine. That's cool. But so as it so stands, that's where Meta is. And guys, you have to understand that this technology, and we're going to talk about Apple a little bit because this channel is devoted mostly to Apple. I've been called the Apple guy, even though I don't feel like, I'm just me. Like, my name is Brett, so like you can call me that. That's who I am. If you want a whole bunch of technical jargon, a whole bunch of computer language and lingo, you can go to other channels, because there are a lot more people that are way more in depth and maybe way more smarter than I am. But anyhow, I appreciate you guys for liking the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But yeah, so in other news, we've got Apple that's on the radar. Apple just had their earnings in the stock market. If you don't know what earnings are, basically every quarter, a company that is publicly traded, they will bring forth or share what their earnings have been for the past quarter in terms of their growth, all of that stuff, like how they're doing as a company worldwide. And Apple just shared their earnings, and it's reported the second fiscal quarter earnings, basically that their shares the shares have fell, and Cook is predicting a pretty it's going to be a pretty rocky road ahead because of tariffs. Now, we know the story of tariffs. If you aren't familiar with tariffs, tariffs are a tax that the government is proposing on. Everybody's saying it's going to be on foreign countries, but a tax is not actually on the country. The foreign tax is actually on the company that resides or is located in the country. So Apple produces a brand new iPhone. They produce it and manufacture it in, let's say, India or Vietnam. It's produced, manufactured, then they fly the product over here to the U.S. The moment the product hits the U.S. border, there is a tax that is imposed, or tariff that's imposed upon the company and the product of the company, not necessarily the country. So I wanted to kind of dispel that little rumor there. That's a bit of news, and looks like Cook is saying that Apple is already sourcing about half of its iPhones for the U.S. from India. So they're trying to get all the iPhones here as quickly as possible. They probably upped the manufacturing of the iPhones, and they want to be here and fast, quick, in a hurry. So, hey guys, let me know where you're watching. Once again, if you're coming for the first time, my name is Brett. I do live in the U.S. If you are curious where we are, this channel is dedicated to tech, mostly tech and computer. So I'm just talking a little bit about Apple's earnings. So Apple reported second fiscal quarter earnings Thursday. They beat Wall Street's expectations. So Wall Street is basically the stock market. But the company's closely watched services division came up with light versus estimates. So the shares of the iPhone fell as much as 4% in extended trading. And I'm not too surprised. I'm not surprised at all by the iPhone shares falling. Yeah, the iPhone shares have fallen. In fact, the revenue that Apple is getting from the iPhone has also dropped tremendously in the past 2 years. If you go back to 2021, 2022, Apple's iPhone sales were at its all-time high. Massive numbers, 2021 and 22. Into 23, 24, it was like the opposite. Everything just dropped. The sales dropped. Apple started having a hard time selling iPhones, especially in China. I think China had done some things where, you know, with some problems with they were having some issues with Apple. Of course, when you have that type of government, you just kind of know, or you kind of look for there to be heavy regulations, because the government is heavily regulates the economy. The U.S. is the opposite, sort of, with capitalism. The government does regulate, but we are a free market. We're allowed for free trade for companies to run pretty much outside with less regulation. So shares of the iPhone fell 4%. 4% is actually a pretty decent amount, right? So, and of course, Cook came out and rushed out and said, "Hey, tariffs." So that's going to be, I mean, obviously that's going to be the excuse here going forward. It's going to be tariffs if your company's not doing as well. So it says Apple expects the overall revenue to grow from low to mid to single digits. So, you know, that's the yin and yang of this. Like, that's the ups and downs of the mountains and valleys. So it's sort of a journey. You know, companies grow, then they lose, and then they gain back revenue. It's just the nature of the game. So Tim Cook says, "We will manage the company the way we've always, with thoughtful and deliberate decisions." And I think Apple's at sort of a crossroads, right? So, but they're going to focus on investing for the long term with dedicated innovation and possibilities it creates. So, very vague for what he's saying. You know, I'm like, okay, that's sort of cool. So that is what we have going on. We've got some price increase possibilities with Apple. So because of the tariffs, there are concerns about the iPhone. And by the way, guys, everybody should be concerned, especially if you live in the U.S. currently. You should be concerned about tariffs. If you need to purchase a TV or get some type of technology, I would advise to purchase it now. Don't wait, because that TV's price, and they're saying prices are going to jump between 20 and 30%. So that TV that you're paying $700 for, you're going to end up paying probably $50 to $100 more for the TV. So it's the trade policy. It could impact product pricing for Apple. So we're going to see with what they're doing. Like, I don't know. Apple's prices are fairly they're fairly expensive, right? Those who have iPhones. Anybody have an iPhone in the chat? Let me know what iPhone you're using. And if you think these tariffs are going to really sort of affect people. Let me know in the comments also where you're watching from. If you're watching right now, please let me know. Tune in. If you have any comments, please let me know where you are watching from. So there are sort of a lot of happenings, a lot of things going on. Of course, we have 2023, 24, 25. It has been a push for the new frontier of AI integration, generative AI, open source. and these things are sort of in the forefront of what we have going on. I'm curious to see. I want to I'm just curious about the future. There's an uproar. Some people are against it. Like this boom of generative technology. It's it is scary in sorts, but tend to hang on the fact that AI is going to be a space, and it already is a space for massive, extensive innovation in terms of humans having an extension of themselves. AI being a source of how we um, how we think, how we involve ourselves, how we communicate, how we interact with the world around us. And it's a very important thing to sort of look at. There are right now venture capitalism or venture capitalists who are looking for new companies, and there are these companies that these they're like young people, like in their 20s, early 20s, that are starting AI companies, and potentially we're looking for the next, you know, that next AI company. Of course, we have Google, which, by the way, Google is has led the pack with with the search engine capabilities. I mean, of course, you know, everybody. I think now today I see more people using different search engines. A lot of search engines I have not heard of. Like, I, you know, I mean, you're talking about like massively just different search engines that people are sort of using outside of Google. So I think Google is sort of starting to lose their place in being the number one search engine. However, there is there are there have been a lot of research on the consumer that Google has sort of they've garnered, and they've collected this research over years and years of the consumer. I mean, you can imagine the different algorithms that they've used. I mean, you obviously, you know, if you Google an item or a subject, a product, you Google research, there are sort of these pages that are attached to each other, and the pages together, Google is sort of coming up with a query that they've already, because somebody's already researched this. There's a probability that the algorithm is calculating this probability that you're going to also research it. I mean, you know, for example, if you play baseball and you're looking up baseball stats, they may know that, hey, you have a child that, you know, plays little league, and so they'll push forth a product to you and try to sell you a baseball glove, a little league glove. So that product ends up on the page, and even as an advertisement. And with advertisements, so we're sort of, you know, as a consumer, we see them every day, right? We see advertisement every day, like it's like wallpaper. Um, we look at it all the time. So um, with what Google has been able to do, it will be interesting to see what they can come out. I believe Google's AI source is Gemini, and so yeah, we that's where we are there. Uh, let's see, we have any comments? Let me know, guys, where you're watching from in either here, the country, or the world. Um, Here's another headline. Apple's actually saying that the tariffs are going to increase its cost by 900 million in a quarter. Now that's a lot of money, but um, I don't I don't know. You know, Apple is such a big company, and here's the thing. Like, innovation is sort of what we look for in the future. The history tells us a lot about where these companies have the possibility of going. But with innovation, it's a thing of are you going to sink or are you going to swim as a company? Now, you can grow so big as a technology company to the point where you have reached or you reach a ceiling and of diminishing returns. And diminishing returns means you've pretty much outgrown your company in size and stature. And so the things that you do, it's not really getting you forward. Like you're starting to slow up your growth. Starting to slow up in your revenue. And with innovation, you're starting to slow up how you innovate, and not necessarily how you innovate, but you're starting to slow up how much you can sort of make the turn or make the pivot. And I've seen companies like that. Apple is probably one of those companies, and there's so much red tape that you have to go through as a sort of huge company in what you do. I've seen a lot of companies in the past. What they've done to be innovative is they'll sort of bait individuals or smaller companies to come up with innovative ways to solve problems, because that's what it's about. The technology is about solving problems, and with with this with this technology, you it allows you, you know, it allows you to solve problems, and the technology that is provided by those individuals or those smaller companies, you know, it's like a competition or a contest. Like, let's see who can provide me the solution to said problem, whatever the problem is. It's probably a massive problem, and whoever wins that gets a major prize. And so through this, companies have been able to sort of outsource their they've been able to outsource work. And so it's an awesome opportunity. This is a great time to sort of be alive. Uh, I'm excited as well. So many different things that are coming. Okay, somebody says hi. Hey, how's it going? I just saw. I'm sorry, I can't read. What is your name? Where you watching from today? Let me know in the comments. In other news, let's see what else we got. What else we got? We talked about Apple. We talked a little bit about Google. We've talked a little bit about Meta. Google is actually in an antitrust suit with the U.S. government. The Department of Justice has Google on the ropes. Well, maybe not really. Maybe it's just a scaring tactic. Well, Google. The news is Google has been, of course, a company of advertisement. And the reason why Google is in a antitrust suit with the Department of Justice is because the Department of Justice claims that Google is a monopoly in the free world. Anybody familiar with the free world? That is the business world of the American land of the free, home of the brave. In America, the United States, the free world is where I live. Veronica from Nigeria. Hi, Veronica. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for joining the channel. Thanks for even the comment. Appreciate you. So the free world, the government is saying that monopolies cannot exist. Now, if you're a monopoly, basically the definition of that is you have basically cornered the market. You are your business dealings or the way you do business is effective, not allowing other companies to be competitive. That's what the American government, the American way is. We want to be competitive in how we do business. There can't just be one company that makes all the money, that takes all the customers. So Google's in that place with the government right now. They've got some. The government is claiming the search engines, Google. So Google, what they do is they you search a product, and then they send you out advertisements, and so and these advertisements they actually sell to other companies. So they're basically saying, the government is saying, Google, okay, you got to give up Chrome. um, Chrome is a another search engine of Google. You got to sell that. They're threatening. I don't think it's really gonna come. I don't think it's gonna anything's gonna come of it. But we could see. So, but anyway, that's sort of where we are today. And so that's the news we have for Google, for Apple, for any Apple users that we have. Somebody let me know in the comments what phone do you guys use? I know for Apple there is the iPhone 17 that's going to be coming out probably in September. You have to look out for the Apple event. The Apple event is going to be here in June. September also, I think Labor Day is right around the time the event is showing. So the iPhone 17 is going to be coming. They've got a couple different features. Of course, they're always trying to sort of innovate and re-innovate the camera, because that's what you guys like, right? Shanuk says the iPhone Pro Max. Oh, awesome. Okay, so you've got a big boy. Pro Max is the top of the line tier, or if you would call it the variant. I guess the top of the line variant for the iPhone. So yeah, thanks for that. Who else? What else? What other phones are you guys? I see you in the comments. Thanks, Shanik, for that comment. But the iPhone 17 is going to be coming out, and of course, consumers are always looking for that next iPhone. I want to see what Apple's going to do for Apple Intelligence, right? What are they going to do? Are they going to give up on Apple Intelligence? What do you guys think? The iPhone 17, one of the features is they're looking at what you call Aqua Touch. Aqua Touch is, and it's not really anything just like nature, right? Aqua Touch sounds, a lot of companies, what they'll do is they'll have these features and they'll attach a name to it to make it sound cool, make it sound, sort of whatever. Let's see. Veronica says that they're coming up with a 17 when I still have a Samsung A50. Oh yeah. And that's cool. Samsung is cool. No digs there. But you'll always get an upgrade with Apple at least twice a year, right? Back to Aqua Touch. So the iPhone 17 is rumored to have Aqua Touch. Not really anything big. Like, it's basically like your hands are wet, you're trying to flip or you're trying to type or on your screen, because your screen is fully touch screen. And Aqua Touch just basically allows you to still type and to still swipe on your screen and not have the water affect your use of the iPhone. Makes sense, right? One thing I want to see with the iPhone is Siri, right? Siri is a function of the iPhone. It's an assistant. It should have been integrated a long time ago with AI, but it has not. Apple has delayed Siri's features, and I'm hoping that and we probably won't see anything major with Siri, the marriage of Siri and Apple Intelligence AI. We won't see anything until 2026. Now, of course, guys, I'm up here giving you information, but the things that I do day to day, most of the things that I do and what I use, whether it be with work, whether it be with production, so forth and so on, these things, most of these things don't affect me as an everyday person. I like to deliver the news of what's going on, but to be honest with you, it is such a big, huge world, and I try not to get too involved in and to the point where I'm out of touch, right, with my everyday life. Like, you can be so involved in social media, and so there has been sort of this time trade-off. So we spend time, and there are numbers out there. I think for every person that is on the internet, the trade-off, time versus money, is probably like between this is research, right? Between $2 to $3 of every hour that you spend on the internet, a company spends $2 to $3, which is, that's less than even like third world countries. But there's sort of this thing of like, as technology increases and gets further and further and bigger, as technology sort of extends itself, and we consume more and more and more, what becomes scarce is time. What becomes scarce is the time that we have for other things. So I'm just saying that as a point for us to sort of recognize and know that, this is where we are in society. What do I think about the iPhone 12, Veronica? Yes, the iPhone 12. I didn't have an iPhone 10. I didn't have a 12. I had a 10. I think I've had the iPhone 12. Yeah, I think it's still relative. It's still it's a good phone, right? It has. I mean, see, that's the thing. The iPhone, for the most part, has features. If you have a 12 or greater, you're still getting the same features that somebody of the iPhone 17 or 16. I have an iPhone 15. The iPhone 12 probably came out in 2019, 20. So it's starting to be older. I personally wouldn't purchase an iPhone 12. I would at least get an iPhone 14 at the most. The iPhone 14 came out in 2000, probably 21, 22. My iPhone, the 15, came out 2 years ago. So I'm already sort of behind the curve. But like, it's no sense in like, it's really no sense in like spending outlandish money on. So yeah, if you feel like that's something you want to look for, especially if you haven't had, if you I don't know, Veronica, have you had an iPhone before, or do you usually buy Android or Samsung? Doesn't matter. Everybody's welcome. iPhone, Android, Samsung. If you have Google phone, I was actually like really. I was looking at the Google phone, and I was like sort of like, um, for me, this phone was like interesting, right? The Google phone, they did some like major announcements, some marketing, and I was this close to buying a Google phone. I didn't, because I'm just loyal. And what you will find as consumers, we're mostly loyal to the product that we use. So, yeah. But Veronica, if you want to check out my reviews on the channel, I have reviews on the iPhone in general. Just an overall review of the iPhone, what it brings to the what it brings to the table, outside of talking and texting and surfing the internet, right? So the thing I want to see is, let's see, the Google Pixel looks great. Yeah, 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 yeah. The Google Pixel is great. I feel like my mic is falling. But yeah, thanks for the comments. But so the thing I'm sort of looking for is, there's been a huge delay. Of like, this delay of AI and Siri's features. It's really sad, right? I can give you an example, or to example of how Siri has sort of just failed us miserably. One example would be, um, you're asking Siri to spell your name, and it gets your name misspelled wrong, and you try to correct it. It still misspells your name, and it's like, you know, we should be a little bit further along in these, with Siri. So the article here talks about, since iOS 18 has been launched, there have been a number of intelligence features, from writing tools to Jamoji, image playground. So Jamoji is basically like you're taking real life figures and turning it into emojis. Image playground is basically the same thing. You're taking your image and you put it in the playground and you're sort of interacting with it, or you taking pictures or whatever. Image wand, I don't know. Image wand is like probably like a wand. You just take a wand and you swipe your image and you can change it. Not major stuff for Apple. It just hasn't been major stuff, right? But they're saying we've made it possible for users to create movies of their memories with a simple prompt. You can do that already. You don't have to necessarily, it's like, okay, big deal, right? All of these are supposed um, features that are not really, they're not really doing much. But with regard to more personal Siri features, um, Apple is asking for more time of the consumer. And I just wonder: is Apple going to? Are they gonna keep up with with AI, or are they gonna just sort of give up on it? I don't know. We could see. So, given that the Siri assistant is taking longer than they thought to deliver, um, I want to know just about like why the delays, and what are sort of what is Apple learning from their delays of Siri. And so Apple is saying, uh, there were a number of different features that would relaunch in iOS 18. They released a slew of those, which, okay, whatever. But they're not really, the focus has not been really that intense on upgrading who Siri is, right? It just hasn't been. And Apple sort of publicly addressed this. Um, the more personal Siri features, they haven't really provided a specific timeline or when the features will ship. Other than that, they're coming this year. I suppose that they'll probably be coming. They'll probably be coming in 2026. All right, let's see. Um, Comments. Let's see. Comment. Veronica says, I feel they should calm down instead of trying to make a new phone every 12 months. Yeah, don't we all feel like that? Because they're just making the same phone over and over, right? Yeah, yeah. I agree. Veronica, you say they are basically making, yeah, the same phone every year. Yes, yes, they are. Because if you think about it, it's a phone, right? In the most basic of terms, like it's a phone. You talk on it, you text, you surf the internet. AI is sort of in there as well. So, what more can you do with the phone? Now Apple is looking at the. I don't know if you guys are. Let me know in the comments if you're familiar with the Vision Pro. Now, the Vision Pro was released in 2022. The Vision Pro is it's a goggles that Apple has sort of they introduced to the market. Didn't do very well. I'm not gonna bag on it. I've bagged on it enough times. Bagging means I've joked about it or joked on it enough times. And these Vision Pro goggles, I still have yet to see somebody in public with a pair of these goggles on. Well, the goggles are supposed to combine AR, which is augmented reality, with VR, virtual reality. So, augmented reality, you basically have the goggles on, but you can still see around you. But it's augmented. You have, if you look at something, it'll in the store to give you the price, and so it's a bit of reality and virtual together. Virtual reality, of course, you're fully immersed into a virtual world. So that's what these goggles have provided. I've yet to see these in public. I've never seen somebody, even on the plane. Like I've traveled on the plane, I've not seen anybody with a pair of Apple Vision Pro glasses. Anybody know anybody that owns a pair? I didn't think so. Veronica says, and the pricing is outrageous. Yes, the pricing is absolutely outrageous, man. These phones like $1,500 to $2,000. Like full disclosure, I'm on a plan right now with my Apple on my iPhone just because I'm paying on it monthly. Uh, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like you got to get these things on credit, right? So, um, but yeah, back to the Vision Pro because sales have been so bad on this thing, on this Vision Pro. What Apple is doing is they're looking at possibly at the end of the year coming up and remodeling and re sort of making a lighter model of the Vision Pro. It's going to be called probably the Vision Pro 2, and it's going to be less in price, not as much in price, or it's going to be less expensive. It's going to be lighter. Um, they're going to the power adapter that is attached to the Vision Pro now. It's a power adapter to a battery. Battery's probably the size of, I don't know, maybe the size of this. And this is a lacy external hard drive, which is smaller than the pack. But the battery attaches to the goggles, the AR glasses, and then the battery life is probably like 2 hours. That's not very long. And then of course you have to hook it up to charge it anytime you're not using it, or anytime you need to use it. Oh, thanks, Veronica. Yeah, please follow the channel. It's good to see you. I'm here every Tuesday and Friday, so come check me back out next week. Alrighty. But so with the Vision Pro 2, Apple is looking to get rid of. I'm talking about the Vision Pro. Get rid of the adapter and the battery pack, and they're going to now replace it with a cable connection to either your computer, probably by USB-C, to your computer or your phone or your iPad, and your computer will act as the power source. I think it's a smart way to go. That is a smart way to go. So look for that in the coming months, possibly probably late as 2026. So these are sort of things that are going on. And like I said, the channel that I provide information weekly updates. I also have content on here that you can watch that will help you assist you with whatever your technology needs are. And I definitely thank you guys so much, everyone who is watching. We've got a whole family of I don't know, I'll call them anvilers, man, from India. Um, I don't see many of them on the comments today, but I appreciate everybody's comments. Those who have commented, those who have chatted with me today. We're going into the weekend strong. It's going to be a nice weekend. This weekend for me, it's going to be great. I think the weather is going to be some rain, some sun, but we're heading towards summer, man, and I'm excited to get outside. I'm thinking about doing some lives outside, getting out of this space, going into a new space where I can sort of still talk and chat, conversate with you guys. And once again, please like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you get a chance. Thank you so much for all the support, all of the super chats, those who have donated. Like it's been a great ride, and we're gonna keep this going forward. The last thing I wanted to say is I wanted to just to tell you that I have recently released a Mac guidebook or ebook for those who are out there that are looking for a new computer. Maybe you're ready to upgrade your computer. You're tired with that PC, or maybe you have an older Mac that you want to upgrade. Well, my ebook is now available. You can find it in the description of the video, the channel. My ebook is it allows you, or I've constructed in a way that it pretty much displays the specs of the MacBook that you're looking for, either the MacBook if you're looking for an iMac. If you're a person that's like, okay, I want to surf the internet, I want something that's good, I want something that's mobile that I can take with me, surf the internet, I can do small tasks, watch maybe a movie here or there. This guidebook is going to guide you in the direction of the perfect Apple computer for you. A lot of times we go into the Apple store, and what I found out, even for me, it gets to be intimidating because the process of shopping for a computer is not an easy one. And often we rush the process and we purchase something that we didn't necessarily need, or we may have needed something else. So this ebook, check that out. Purchase it today. It's going to help you to be able to find that MacBook, that ebook, or that computer that you need for you. So let's see. Jay Sod says, just got here. What's the topic? Oh man, we've been talking about. Oh, you don't make me go back and talk about it again. The topics are. Let me know, Jay Sod, where you watching from. Tell me where you watching from. Just getting here. Never too late, man. Never too late. So, oh, you really gonna make me talk? Okay, I'll review it for you. We first got on here and talked about. What did I talk about? Because that was like 47 minutes ago. It's all good. It's all good. I'm glad you're here. And we talked about AI, of course, obviously. We talked about Google. Google's in lawsuit with the Department of Justice. Basically just antitrust. The government's calling them a monopoly. We talked about that. We talked about we first talked about Apple's earnings. So Apple just reported their earnings. I think it was yesterday or a day ago. Earnings weren't good. Earnings are, of course, the revenue that they made. So they have to deliver. They have to deliver their numbers to their shareholders, who are shareholders in the stock market or in their publicly traded company who have purchased shares. So they deliver numbers because obviously you gotta deliver the numbers so people can see, okay, are you growing or are you not? Well, their numbers have declined, so we talked about that. We talked a lot about Siri and the features, the lack thereof. There are not a lot of features in Siri, so cool. Jason's from America. Yeah. Same here, Jay. I called you Jason. I'm sorry, Jay Sod. See how I do that? I just butchering names, man. But thanks so much for joining. But yeah, that's sort of some of the stuff that we've talked about, and that's what this channel is dedicated. It's dedicated for all things tech. Kush says, "Yo, hey, what's up, Kush? How's it going? Where are you watching from? Is this your first time? You guys watching this channel for the first time? Let me know in the comments. Put a 1 in the comments if you're the first time. Put a 1 in the comments if you're watching for the first time. Drop me a 1. Thanks, Jay Sod. You'll subscribe. What Mac is in the background? I'm glad you asked. I have the famous iMac in the background. I would take my phone off the stand, but I'm gonna mess up stuff here, I know. Can you see it there? Got an iMac on the left, and this is just a Dell screen. I got like the same size. It's a 27. This is my big head is in the way. Can you see it? There we go. So I've got a dual screen. Kush from India. Yes, my India fam. What's going on? Oh, the Mac is it's old, man. It's like a 2015. And I can explain why. Oh, my Mac is 10 years old. Well, I've got a lot of production software on it, and you guys all know, you know, some years back, a lot of companies they started making their consumers and customers subscribe to software monthly. In subscription, I hate subscriptions. I every time every month they're taking money out of my account. I'm already subscribed to like Netflix and all these other companies, but that's where we're moving towards. We're moving towards more subscriptions, um, more subscription products, right? You don't even. I did a video about this. You don't even own the product anymore. You have to rent it. Like you'll never own it again. I did a video about that for the iPhone. So the reason for me having such an older computer is because some of the software I have is probably that last bit of software that I can actually purchase the license for, that I have exclusive rights to. So I'm holding that computer. That's my that's my baby. It's a piece of gold to me because we'll never go back. Everything literally is going to be subscription based. So let's see. Jay Side says the studio display is 3K. Yeah, probably it's three. Maybe it's four. I don't know. Jay Side says I have an older one I found in storage unit that wasn't paid for. It has Mavericks on it currently. Yeah, Mavericks is pretty old. This has El Capitan. I want to say either El Capitan or what's the one after it? I can't remember. But it yeah. I mean, and I'm sort of stuck in. I've got a snapshot, and this is old operating software. So Chris says, I got one question. Like, I'm thinking to buy my first pair of studio monitors. Right. I can buy HS5, or should I wait to get the HS8? Oh man, studio monitors. Let me ask you, Chris, what studio monitors do you have now? What do you have currently? Do you have anything that you're using? I will tell you, the S5s and the S8s. The S8s obviously are going to be more expensive. Probably not by much, but with studio monitors, um, my answer is going to be a little bit unorthodox, and probably not going to give you the answer that you want. But in terms of studio monitors, what you want to make sure that you do is get a pair. I'm not saying just go out and get any type of pair, but get a pair and stick with them for at least 2 years. Because what happens is your ear gets accustomed, and I don't know if you do mixing, if you do production, like whatever you do, if you're just listening, but the equipment that I use for mixing, I use for production. So therefore, my ears have to be accustomed to the equipment that I'm using. Right? If I'm using a certain set of headphones, and then I keep switching to another pair of headphones, I'm never going to lock in on the sound or the sonics of what I'm basically mixing for. Does that make sense? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Does that make sense? So it doesn't really matter. Like I have a pair of Samsungs. No, not Samsung. I'm sorry, Samsung's speakers. You see that speaker right there? That's one over there, and then the other one's back here. Yeah, I've had these. I've had these Samsung speakers, man, for 10 years. 10. And to the point, I turned them on yesterday, and I was like, "Oh man, it's all time for me to get another pair." But if I get another pair, I'm gonna go get another pair of those because my ear is already tailored to how they sound. If that makes sense, does that make sense? So it's not necessarily what type of speaker. Get a quality speaker, but stick with it. Don't go switching within a year. Um, let's see. Jay Sod says I know a lot of that. I'm gonna see if I can try doing that on mine. If buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing. Whoa, that is Jay side. Man, can I steal that? If buying isn't owning, piracy isn't. Man. Okay. Well, let's not get in trouble with that because this is not what we're doing. We're not doing the p word, but because I'll get shut down. But that's wow. Jason says Sonoma or Sierra. Sonoma. Ooh, I mean, there've been so many releases. I don't even know. What are we on? What are we on? Um, I can't even think the operating system we're on. It reminds me of it's like a Toyota Sequoia, Toyota Sequoia. So I have my other two Macs right here. This Mac right here, that's on Sequoia. So that's it's updated. It's like a 2018. Sierra, yeah, Sierra came after Capitan or either before or after, but it was not too much before or after. Kush says I use the ATH MX. Yeah, I have a pair of those. I use those too. Um, Audio Technica. You talking about these? Look at that. Audio Technicas. I believe the. Oh no, these are the 20s. I have the 20s. So yeah, I got the same. I got the same headphone. I've got like 10 different pair, man. so yeah. I'm all for some headphones, man. I'm all for some headphones. So, and I got some videos on those headphones. Check out my reviews. First of all, follow the channel if you don't get a chance. Subscribe to the channel. J-Sod, I know you did. Let's see. J-Sod said I might do a micro virtual machine, so I can do an Xcode development. Now, tell me more about that. Oh, J-Sod, come on now. We're not gonna do that on this channel, man. Oh goodness, you stole it. Yeah, okay, I got it. Kush says, yeah, it does make sense. Does 5-inch and 8-inch driver help have a huge difference? The 5-inch versus the 8-inch driver, um, the drivers are, I don't think so. What are you in a studio space? Are you in a big space? Like, cause I'm in a room. Like a 5 and 8's not gonna matter. Like it's not gonna matter, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you're listening to music, well, when I listen to music, I'm mostly listening and I'm mixing my either mixing songs. I'm listening at an optimal level. Like my value is not too high. It's not too low, but it's not too high. Um, I just I just like preserving my ears, man. Specs specs are what you make them. Like companies know that they tend to sell you if you're gonna purchase, if you're a real technical person, they're gonna throw every kind of tech, and you can find. And I've learned that over the years of researching, you can get all the tech information that you can find out there. But when it comes down to it, it's probably just best just go ahead and pick. I don't know what your budget is. I wouldn't say go out and spend too much, but pick what you're gonna pick. The 5 and 8's not it's not gonna really matter. Like I would get the latest product if I didn't have a budget or if I didn't necessarily if money was not an issue for me. Money has in the past been an issue. Still to a certain extent. I don't just purchase just because of spec, but most of the time you're gonna be all right with speakers, with the equipment that's out there now. You're not gonna have an issue with that. Jason, let me know what this Xcode development is, man. Tell me more about that. So Kush says, appreciate you guys commenting, man. So I can go for the HS5 and still get a great output. Yeah, you can. You can. In fact, and see, I don't know. Are you producing music? Are you making tracks? You gotta let me know what you're actually doing with this. You could just be listening to it, because the average listener is like they're listening. They don't know. They can't tell you what speaker. I mean, I remember back in the day, it used to be like it was like Bose speakers. I can't even remember. Man, we had some Kenwoods. Ooh, I'm dating myself there. Kenwoods. I bet you guys don't know about that. I would take it you guys are probably younger than I am. But Chris, you have to let me know what do you tell me in the comments. What do you okay. Production, mix and master. Yeah, that's a whole another thing, man. How many times have you how many times? How many years have you been producing and mixing and mastering? Because production, they're all different, right? Production, you're sort of getting the idea down, getting it clean. Um, you may pass it on to a mixer, making sure that your files are in order and organized because that helps. You don't want to be working in a dirty space, right? Making sure those files are labeled, they're in order, they're color coded, they're clean. Your WAV files are, you know, east to west, north to south. You can see everything right there. Boom. Um, when you get over into mixing, the mixing part of the game, it's not a game, right? But if you're mixing, of course, you want to make sure your environment is conducive. And I've got videos, so please subscribe to the channel. I've got videos I'm going to be releasing that's going to help you with mixing and well, mainly mixing, some mastering, but mainly mixing, some production, just some tips throughout your process. So please stay tuned for those. I've got them. I've been recording them. I want to make sure that I get enough videos out there, but I want to help you. I want to make sure that that I help you. So the mixing portion, like, yeah, you got it. The environment that you're in. How are your walls treated? Do you have treatment, um, acoustic treatment, so that your frequencies aren't sort of all over the place? You're not hearing crazy frequencies. If you're recording, you're not recording crazy frequencies. I mean, it's so much involved with the mixing process. Mixing is less is more, right? Less is more. Mastering, I'm not as versed. I can master and I have mastered, but because I mix most of the time, I choose not to master. One of my mentors is like, no, take your hands off it, give the mastering to somebody else. So that's where I am with that. Let's see. Mix and master around 3 years, production for 1 year. Cool, man. What sort of music do you master? Or will you mix? What do you mix? What do you got going on? It's got some EDM, some pop, some jazz, R&B. What you got going on? What do you have going on? Yeah, and also these are great questions. What other questions you have? Because I'm that's my wheelhouse really is the mixing part of it. Um, which coincidentally, just to talk to you and let you know, that's what got me into the space where I am with computers and technology and sort of like really on Apple's bandwagon. Like I've been called everything from a fanboy to whatever. But like I really honestly use this stuff for creativity and to express myself creatively. Let's see. Hip hop, pop, R&B. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So all of these elements, and that's why you that makes sense. That's why you were asking about the speakers. Because you're producing music that is heavy in heavy with bass frequencies. Voice, of course, is a very important portion. So, yeah, just hang with me, man. Hang with me. We can learn from each other. We can learn from each other. I've got knowledge that I can sort of lend, and it's all about perspective, right? Like it's my perspective, I produced mostly like Christian music, R&B. I've done R&B, some pop, and a little bit of hip hop as well. So those genres are all kind of meshed one and the same. So yeah, just hang out with me, man. Like I mean, you see, I'm amped up. I'm ready to go. so so Kush says, funny thing is I use FL for production, Ableton for vocal mix, and Cubase for Mac. Okay, so you jumping. I mean, well, what's the benefit to that? Like, let me know, because there's obviously a benefit to that. Like, I use Logic currently. I dabble in Pro Tools a little bit, but I found out Logic is just the best for production overall. And I don't feel like bouncing down files unless I'm bouncing down files to another and sending them to another person to mix. So yeah, yeah, that's fine, man. Like that's your process. I just purchased Ableton 12. Is that right? 12 live. I have Ableton 12 live. Is it the suite? I can't even remember. It's Ableton 12 though. It's the version that just came out last year. J-Side says, sorry, I was doing something. Oh, you good, man. You good. We're still here. We're still in here. But yeah. J-Side, you didn't tell me about your Xcode development. Let me know what you got going on with that, man. Tell me, let me know. Yeah, so that's basically what I do. So I guys hang out with me. I'm here on Fridays, this time Tuesdays. I'll be back next week for a live. We can kind of discuss. Trying to make. J-Side says I'm trying to make an easy translation app. Okay, are you translating? What are you are you translating language? Is that um what type of translation um are you talking about? Oh, okay. Translation. Okay. So cool. How many different languages are you trying to translate? You just trying to go from English to, like, I don't know, English to Spanish or Italian to I'm not sure. Probably most likely English to something, but let me know. Chris says I'm a Windows user and personally I feel they are the best in these areas. I want to use Pro Tools, but it gets a bit boring. Yes, Pro Tools is boring for a reason, because Pro Tools wants you to focus on mixing and not colors. Pro Tools is boring, very much so. And you don't. For me, I prefer Pro Tools for vocal sessions, but that's about it. Mostly all of them, I'm going to use the DeepL API. Oh, okay, okay. Man, that's awesome. So you're an app developer. Is that what you're saying? Do you just develop? Do you develop the code for the app? I suppose that's what you're saying, right? Um. So what? Let's see. You're just doing it as a side project. Okay, cool, cool. So are you, JSOD? Do you? What are you sort of building your app off of? Do you like? I know there's Google Translate that's out there. What else is out there? Microsoft Translator. There's an iTranslator out there. There's a voice to voice translation. Say Hi is one. Is another one. Um, you said Deep L. Okay, Deep L. I've never heard of that. Kush says, yeah, Pro Tools is Pro Tools and it's industry. Yeah, Pro Tools is the industry standard. Or is it anymore? And I know people have said that for years. Pro Tools is I can't remember the last time I've been on a Pro Tools website. It's not even Pro Tools, it's Avid, right? Avid is the website. I haven't last time I flirted with getting it, but I'm already locked in with Logic, and which is the reason why I'm so locked in and loyal to Logic is because I mean I'm using Apple products already. Logic came with the computer, or I was able to get it, and I perfected what I've done. I use Ableton too. I'm actually going to use Ableton this Sunday. So yeah. Um, so yeah, let's see what else. Deep L. I'm not. So yeah, I guess Deep L is what AI powered translation device. Kush, I'm from the U.S. I live here in the U.S. on the East Coast of the United States. Where did you say you were from? Did you say India? I apologize if I didn't get where you were from. Did you say where you were from? Jay Side says it's like one of the most accurate. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool, man. I wouldn't even know where to start. Jay Side, where like to get into a side project of coding, come up with your own translator. So that's actually awesome. that that's not something you well, I shouldn't say it's not something you hear about. You hear about it on the internet. I research, but to talk to somebody who actually codes is it's a whole nother whole nother rim. So okay, Jason said yes, he did. Yeah, yeah, you did. You did say where you were from, and I believe it was India. But but yeah. So um, yeah, we've talked about everything production today. We talked about coding. Man, uh, Jason said school coding classes are like block coding, and it sucks. Yeah, I never got into coding. I always heard about it. I'm sure you're probably in. I'm assuming you're in college. But stick with it, man. Coding is a thing of the future. I mean, I don't even know where we're going in terms of what that looks like. But yeah, coding classes, man. How long are them classes? Were they like an hour and a half? I remember when I was in college, I would take 3 hour classes just to get it over with because I'd be like, I want to just be there for 3 hours once a week and then be done. But then you're there and it's like it drags on forever. So good luck to you. Definitely. Good luck to you. Yeah, yeah, no, I'm not. Cause yeah, I'm not calling you that. No skin. I know you're not. I just was asking where you're from. I got like most of my following, believe it or not, is from India, and I think just because of like the time that I come on live, like the time I come on live is probably prime time for like that time zone. I get India. I've gotten Costa Rica, even though Costa Rica is probably Eastern time. I'm not sure. I've got India. I got China. Uh, I had individual from Nigeria today. Chris says it's 5:30 p.m. Boom. Yep. J side, yes. 8 a.m. Eastern. Yes. I've been on since about 6:30 today. So yeah, talking to you guys, man. You guys are awesome. And it's great to hear like what people are doing in the world. Like be able to talk. Like this is an amazing time to like be able to talk and chat to you guys, chat with you, talk about different technologies and future and all the possibilities that we got going on. Um, yeah, this is great, and I expect you guys, man, to have subscribed, man. Keep up with me. Let me know um, any sort of questions you have, any sort of things that you're trying to like maybe look for solutions because we can. I'm telling you, the community that we have currently is a community that like pretty pretty versatile group here. Um, I've been I've been doing lives probably for about 3 to 4 months. I started out doing it in my car. And I sort of transitioned here to the studio. So, Chris says, "How did I get into the music journey?" Oh, that's a great question. I'm gonna make this answer short. The music journey for me started probably in my teens. I first started learning how to play the piano. There it is. That's a keyboard though, obviously. Started playing the piano, learning how to play the piano. Recognized that I was able to pick up songs by ear. So I learned like the technical side of like notes and progressions. Um, I learned all the technical side, and then started learning songs. And I played in church. Started playing in church and developed a love for it. Continued on. I started production probably about much later. Started in my late 20s, early 30s. Been in production for about 10 years. So I haven't been in production long. I wish I would have started earlier, but the technology was like way expensive back then. So started to build up what I have today, my studio, and I'm sort of at a great place. Like I can pretty much handle whatever is thrown at me in terms of like files, and vocals, and size. The file size doesn't really matter. So that's my journey. Let's see. Jay Size says I'm still under 15, so I have a while to go. Oh, okay, cool. Well, hey, it's better to start early, man. Just stick with it, and that's cool. You're coding at under 15. That's cool. Kush says, "Welcome to Anvil's podcast." Yep, this is Anvil. What do you guys think I should call it? It definitely is. I literally have a podcast. It's called Off the Dock. It's called Off the Dock Podcast. It's on YouTube. It is on YouTube Music. YouTube has it music. So yeah, welcome to the podcast. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you guys for joining. But Jay Side, yeah, keep it up, man. I'm rooting for you. We're rooting for you. Hey, who knows? One day, I might need you to do something for me. I might need you to do some coding for me. So keep up the good work, man. Kush says, I want to visit the Vatican City. I went to church in India many times. It's so beautifully made. Like everything is so perfect. Yeah, Vatican City. Is that Italy? I think it's Italy, isn't it? That I think it's Vatican City is in Italy. Yeah, it's in Rome. Yeah, go visit, man. I was literally I wasn't there. So last August I traveled to Greece. I went to Santorini, Greece, which is probably 4 or 5 hours from Italy. Beautiful place. Beautiful place on the island. You got water all around you. You're sitting on a volcano, literally. Some of the best food you'll ever have. I got vacation photos right now that I want to share, but I'm like, I don't even know what I have so much. I have so many photos that I'm not even sure what I'm going to share. So yeah, I recommend go to the Vatican City. So yeah. All right, guys. With that being said, I'm appreciative for you guys. I'm gonna jump off here, but you guys catch me back next week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, same time. Let me know any comments, any questions you have. Check out my videos on my page. I got over 100, no, not 100. I've got over 550 pages, and I'm probably going to put this video on the podcast because this was a pretty good video to sort of end the week with. You guys have a great week, man. I'm so proud of you, Jay Side. Keep up the great work, man. Kush, production, music stuff. Let's do this, man. I don't know what you're working on currently, but it sounds like we got some things in common. So just hang with me, man. Hang with me. Catch me back next Tuesday, same time. All right. Nice to meet you guys.